Hey everyone, happy Monday. I'm Matt Johnson, and on today's episode of Beer and Watches, we are going to be unboxing and reviewing the Star and Moon watch from DOM Watches. It's a quartz watch that's cheap as chips. Question is it any good? We are also going to be taste testing the Hibiscus Blanc from the Brasserie de Ciel. I hope I said that right. Time's a ticking, so let's get stuck in. Hey guys, I'm Matt Johnson and welcome to my YouTube channel Beer and Watches, where every Monday, Wednesday and Friday I bring you watch news, watch reviews and craft beer brews. Now if this is your first time on my channel, I'd love you to subscribe and become a part of my Beer and Watches family. It's super easy to do, it's completely free to subscribe, and you can unsubscribe at any time. All you have to do is click on the subscribe link over there to the right of the screen, or if you're on your mobile device, below this video. Don't forget, while you're subscribing, to also hit the bell notification button so you get notified every time I release a new video, which is 3 times a week. Now on today's episode, we're going to be reviewing the DOM Star and Moon watch, at least that's what I've called it, from the folks over at DOM Watches. I got this on AliExpress. You can also get it direct from their website. I'll put a link in the description below this video to not only where you can buy this on AliExpress, but also to the DOM Watches website as well. That will be mydomwatches.com. They've got some pretty eclectic watch designs on their website, and their watches are super cheap. The Star and Moon watch that I purchased on AliExpress was only $17 US for this silver version, and if you want it in the gold colorway, then it's $18 US. Now at prices like that, it's completely affordable, but the question is a watch like this actually any good? Well, we're going to find that out in this episode. Now before we take a look at that watch, we are going to look at the Hibiscus Blanc, and this comes in from the Brasserie de Ciel, and I hope I'm saying that right. I actually don't speak French, je ne parle pas français, so I'm probably butchering that pronunciation. This beer is a great white hibiscus IPA. On the back here, it tells us a couple of things about it. First of all, it's a dry hopped IPA with white hibiscus, but that we know already. It has floral, slightly tart and hoppy, reminiscent of a Sauvignon Blanc and a warm summer day. Well, that sounds really good to me. It comes in at 5% alcohol volume. It's in a 473 milliliter can. It's a hazy blonde centennial beer, unfiltered. It's made from water, malted barley, wheat, oats, hops, yeast, and white hibiscus. Now the hibiscus flower you may more commonly see used in tea. It prevents hypertension, lowers blood pressure, and is good for the liver. Question is, do all of those things count if you put it in beer? I certainly hope so, because if they do, I'll be drinking this stuff all the time. Very quickly, let's crack this and see how it tastes. I love that sound. Cheers to Monday. That is certainly different. The hibiscus in this gives me a very floral taste, first of all, and also a tart, fruity taste as well. But the tartness, the acidity of the hibiscus is balanced by the malts in the beer. Very refreshing, easy drinking beer, guys. So I recommend you check this out. I'll put the link in the description below this video to the brewery where you can check out their eclectic line of beers, and that link would be decil.com. And again, I hope I'm saying that right. So once more, cheers, happy Monday, and here's to the rest of the week. Now, without further ado, let's swing this camera around, unbox and review the Star and Moon watch from DOM Watches. All right, everyone, here we are with the DOM or DOM watch. I've also got my Hibiscus Blanc beer. I've got my spyglass so that when we take the case back off, we can see exactly what the movement is inside this watch. And I've also got my case back removal tool. If you want to get tools like this for, you know, helping you take take case backs off, change batteries, things like that. The watch repair kit I did a review of here on my channel, and I'll put a link to that review in the description below this video. Now, without wasting any time, let's open up this box. Now, first of all, the box itself, pretty much just a plain black cardboard box, but remember, we're only paying $17 US for the silver version and $18 US for the gold colorway on this. So I think this is pretty good packaging for that price, don't you? This is kind of cool. You push through the hole here and it pushes this out like a drawer. First of all, we've got a hang tag in here, and then we have the watch here in kind of a black foam interior, and then underneath here we have a couple of things. We've got a little screwdriver. Now this is going to be for changing the size of the bracelet for your wrist. These buckles on here, you need this to pry that open to change the size, and I'll show you how that works in a moment. We also have a little microfiber cleaning cloth. We'll just use that and give that a little clean, and actually we'll keep this right here so we can make sure this watch is nice and clean. And then also inside the box here we have what looks like a plastic credit card. This is the worldwide guarantee, and this watch comes with 12 months from the date of purchase. And then also we have the instruction booklet. Now unfortunately, when you open this, it's got a lot of instructions in there. It does show you how to change the buckle size on your strap. However, it gives you no instructions on how to set and operate this watch. I find this a lot with cheaper Chinese watches, that they just seem to give you a generic booklet for every other watch except the one you buy. But that's okay, this one's pretty easy to figure out, so I'm going to show you all how to set it, how to operate it, and how to read the time on this watch. Now, before we get into the actual review, whilst looking at this watch online, it looked very, very familiar to me, and I couldn't figure out where I'd seen it. So I did a little bit of research, and I came across the watch that this is based on. Now, it's by a company called Zurich. They have a watch called the Halograph, which essentially has these two hands that you see on here, but the Halograph has circles on the ends and not the stars and the moon. By the way, you'll have to forgive me about my black nail there. I love virtual reality, and whilst playing virtual reality and having a headset on my face, I slammed my hand into a desk, just so you know. As I said, this is based on the Halograph by Zurich watches, and considerably cheaper. I would say it's an homage because it doesn't look exactly the same. $17 for the silver one, $18 for the gold and black colorway, whereas the Zurich watches, which are much better built, I'm sure, do cost a few $100s. So if you kind of want that style, this one's going to cost you a lot less. Now, a couple of things about the face that I want to point out. First of all, you can see the black here, as I move it, is catching the light with lots and lots of different colored sparkles. It's almost like the stars in the night sky, which I think is very, very cool. Then we've got this silver plate there, which says DOM Original with two blue screws on the ends. Down at the 6 o'clock position, we have a date window, and then above that, we have the time window. It looks very, very complicated, but the way you tell the time on this is the two inner dials that are blue, they are going to give you the hour, and the two outer dials that are black, they're going to give you the minutes. The digits on here are quite small. You're certainly not going to be able to read this in the dark. There's no lume on there, and you are going to have to take a second to bring this closer to your eyes to see the time. But you know, it's kind of a fun piece. It's inexpensive, so if you're looking for something fun and inexpensive to add to your watch collection, then I would say this is something fun that's not going to break the bank. How the time works is these hands revolve, and only two of them will ever be in this area at any given time. And the blue is the hour, so right now that is at the 12, so we're looking in the middle of the moon there. That's at the 12, and then the red one you can see is pointing to the 15 there, which means that it's 12:15. I'll pull this all the way out just to show you how to set this. You just turn this and that will change the time, and as it comes round you can see that now the longer hand is in there, and so now this will be well, it's still not quite at the 1, it's just at the 12, so this will be 12:50. And as I continue to turn that, you can see that now the smaller star comes into position. For example, this right now is at the 10, and this is just after the 3, so that will be 10 minutes after 3. But if we carry on round and bring the other star into the equation here, and we stop, say, there, this is just after the 4, and this is at 35, so that'll be 4:35. Pretty easy to read the dial on here once you know how it works. This is a hackable quartz movement. As you can see, this little wheel in the center here isn't moving, but if I push this in, you can now see that it starts to rotate, and it ticks because that is essentially the second hand. This is a push-pull crown on here. If you pull it out once to the first position, that's going to allow you to change the date. And the date wheel here is very nice. It locks in for you at each day, which I think is very good at this particular price point. You then pull it all the way out to set the time and then push it all the way in. Now, as for the case on this, well, it is not stainless steel. Even though it looks like stainless steel, what we have here is essentially a zinc alloy. So more than likely brass with a zinc electroplating to make it you know, pretty resistant to scuffs and things like that. I find that these watches, while being a cheaper way to make a case, do stand up and are pretty hard wearing. The bracelet on this is stainless steel. This is a Milan mesh strap in stainless steel, and the case back on this as well, I believe, is stainless steel, a pressed down case back. Essentially, this is a hook buckle, so it's got a lock. You can see that it's got the DOM logo engraved on the buckle there. We pull back the lock and then we pull up on the hook buckle, and that comes off. And essentially what it is, these hooks here go over this bar here like this. That just locks over there. Then you push down this buckle and then you push down the lock, and that locks it in place. In order to change the size of this buckle, you use the little screwdriver that's enclosed, and the way you do this is basically you put the little screwdriver in this hole here and then just push down, which pries that up, and that will now allow you to move this buckle along the strap. So you're going to be able to size this from the very end of the strap all the way up to the case. So there's a lot of room to size this for your wrist. And then once you've got it in position, you push this down and you'll feel it click, and now you are sized, and that's it. I think a really, really cool strap. Don't forget, if you don't like this particular strap, you could always purchase another strap and replace it, but I like this. It's very comfortable on wrist, very cool on a hot day, and also very, very light. As far as the dimensions on this go, well, we've got a diameter of the case of 40 millimeters. It's 11.5 millimeters thick, so it will wear nice and slim on the wrist. It's a 20 millimeter bandwidth, so these are going to be easy to replace if you did want to replace this strap for another. The strap itself is about 210 millimeters long, so lots of room there to size it lug to lug on this. Basically, this measurement from here to here, we've got 45 millimeters. The water resistance on this is 3 ATMs or 30 meters, which essentially means that you're not going to be able to swim in it, but you are going to be able to wear it for showering, washing the dishes, washing the car, that kind of thing. This is the model M1288 on the DOM website. I call it the Star and Moon Watch because of the hands on the face. Now let's flip it over and take a look at the push-down stainless steel caseback. Kind of nice. You don't expect to see anything on the caseback for $17, but this one has got sailing ship on there with the birds, and then we've got DOM here, and it tells us that it's 3 ATMs of water resistance. We've got a ring engraved going around that, just kind of adds some nice style to the polished stainless steel caseback. Now let's take our caseback removal tool, and what we're looking for is that little bit right there where you can see the caseback isn't round. Just there's like a little step, and then we're just going to pop that off by twisting the tool, and that pops the caseback off. And there we are, we're inside. For a quartz movement, that's kind of pretty with the silver and the red here. You can see the battery up here under this tab, and then it's encased in this plastic. Let's grab the eyeglass and take a look at the movement and try and figure out exactly what movement this is. I've got my little eyeglass here, and we're going to take a close look because on the website, on AliExpress and on DOM Watches, it just tells us that this is a quartz movement, and that's it. That's all the information we get. So we want to find out exactly what quartz movement is powering this, so we're going to know things like the battery life, the accuracy of the movement, and things like that. The first thing that I see is that this has no jewels in the movement. It is a Japanese quartz movement that we knew, and the model number on this is VJ52B. The battery in this is a cell battery. It's a little guy. It's an SR62SW. Now I can tell you that the SR62SW battery is going to have a lifespan of about 3 years, which is amazing really. As for the VJ52B movement, that is a Japanese quartz movement from the Hattori company. It's got a tuning fork oscillator in the quartz movement. It's also accurate to about plus or minus 20 seconds a month. Well, there it is, guys and girls. There's my unboxing and full review of the Star and Moon watch from DOM Watches. Now, if you want to get the best deal on this, then I will put a link in the description below to where you can get this on AliExpress, because it's only coming out at about $17 or $18 US. However, if you go to DOM Watches direct at their website, mydomwatches.com, then you are going to certainly pay more for this, because on their website it comes in at $34.99 US. That's it for another watch review. I'm certainly going to enjoy this. It's a lot of fun and unusual. I hope you enjoyed this look at the Hibiscus Blanc Ale and the Star and Moon watch from DOM Watches. Now, I'll be back on Wednesday for another episode of Beer and Watches here on my channel. Don't forget, if you're not subscribed yet, to hit the subscribe button over there to the right of the screen or below this video. Hit the bell button so you don't miss a single video 3 times a week. And finally, hit the thumbs up. That would be amazing. I love to hear from you all, and I reply to each and every single one of your comments. Well, that's it for Monday. I'll see you again on Wednesday for another episode of Beer and Watches. And don't forget, if you haven't seen it yet, click on that video right there, because that's a good one, and click on the Beer and Watches logo right there to subscribe. Take care, guys. I'm Matt Johnson, and we'll see you on Wednesday. Bye for now.